It is Western month, everyone. If you're watching this channel, I'm pretty sure you already know who Ken is at Mid-Level Media, and he started this pretty cool community event where he's deemed this month, the month of January, as Western month. And it's about getting other YouTubers and Instagrammers and stuff to get together and watch Westerns and post about them, make videos about them. Cool idea. Westerns are not my jam, though. Typically. And I think it's partially because, like he mentioned in his video, they're kind of a blind spot for him. They're a blind spot for me. Many classic Westerns I just haven't seen. And this month I will be watching some of the big stuff. I already watched Tombstone. There's other classics on my list. But this video is going to be about alternative Western stuff. Stuff with a sci-fi twist or a horror twist or a comedy twist. Things like that. Stuff that is still Western, but it's not Shane and Tombstone and Quick of the Dead and Unforgiven, these monumental classic, what you think of as Western movies. This is a little more on the outside, but they are still Western in their own right. And I got a pretty good list right over here. Most of it I have. There's going to be a couple I'm going to show on the screen that I don't have. One is super shocking, and I'm going to be correcting that like ASAP. But yeah, we're going to dive into this by like sub-genres and get started on it now. All right, so we're going to start this off with comedy Westerns, which there's a pretty good selection of out there. And I'm going to start this right off the bat with one that I do not have, and I do not know why. I guess I just never bought it for some odd reason, and I will be correcting that. But Blazing Saddles, I mean, who doesn't know Blazing Saddles? Mel Brooks classic. If you're looking for a Western, you're looking to laugh, Blazing Saddles would be a great choice. Really got to correct having that. But I got 4 others here that I do have the physical for that I think are pretty good recommendations. We've got Three Amigos. I just rewatched this last night. It's been so darn long. But this is such a silly, silly movie. Steve Martin, Martin Short, Chevy Chase. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's 3 actors who play the Three Amigos back in the early 1900s during like silent film era, and they get hired to make a appearance in Mexico, but it's not really an appearance. This woman actually thinks that the Three Amigos are gonna, fend off this big bad El Guapo guy. Very silly, very fun. We next got City Slickers. Classic type of story that's been done before where city men decide they want to be countrymen. Fun movie, really good cast. We've got the Shanghai Noon double pack here. Can't go wrong with Jackie Chan. It's a good, I haven't seen this in a long time, but good one. And I just watched this for a rewatch 2 nights ago. I enjoyed the heck out of it. If you're not a Seth MacFarlane fan, if you don't like Family Guy or Orville, you don't like his style of comedy, avoid. I mean, it's directed by him. He's one of the writers. He's starring in it. If you don't like Seth MacFarlane, you won't like this movie. But I loved the comedy. Some great cameos. There's a cameo in here that is so on point to another one of the movies in this list further down the road that it's great. It's one of my favorite cameos I've ever seen, to be honest. So yeah, this is a very fun one. So that's 5 for comedy. If you're looking to laugh, I think they're pretty solid choices. You're still getting a Western fix, but you get to laugh some. Next up, I want to take a dive into horror. And I have, 5 here, and another one I'm going to mention that I do have, but when I moved the DVDs out of this room, they're in another room just stacked up in piles because I didn't do anything with them yet. I ain't finding the movie. I can't find it. But it's a movie called Undead or Alive. It's a zombie Western with Chris Kattan. I thought it was fun. It's completely a B movie. It's silly, dumb fun, some practical effects. But I enjoyed it. So that's one possibly check out. I'm not like super recommending it. You might hate it, but I had fun with it. These other ones though, some good stuff here. And first one I'm going to start with is Tremors. Now, some people might not think of Tremors fitting, but Tremors completely has that isolated Western vibe. Everything about the setting of this movie gives off a modern Western vibe, and it totally works. I mean, this can absolutely fit into as a Western horror. and it makes sense. I enjoy the heck out of this movie. Even Kevin Bacon, who's pretty strict on his movies, actually has rewatched this movie, and it's one of his favorites that he's done. It's a great movie. Put that one over there. That's an amazing edition, by the way. The 4K is phenomenal. We've got The Wind. This is a Scream Factory release, and this is a newer movie, but actually takes place back in the standard, late 1800s, I think it is. But a movie about isolation and fear. That's a good one. Definitely check that one out. We've got Ghost Town, a Scream Factory. This one, it's hard. I wrestled with the idea of putting this in because this is out of print, and I don't know if this is on streaming at all. So it's, in a way, I feel bad recommending this because I don't even know if you get your hands on it. But it's a sheriff going to an abandoned ghost town, and then there's actually spirits all coming out and pretty much screwing with them, and it's pretty good. It's cheesy 80s, but fun one. We've got, this is a more recent release that I think a lot of people loved for good reason, but we've got Sundown, The Vampire in Retreat. This is totally Western in feel and vibe. Again, it's loose, but the setting, the overall isolation of the town that they're in, this gives the Western vibe to me. This totally fits. So, it's got Bruce Campbell. It gets 2 thumbs up for that. And last one here is one I have not seen, Bone Tomahawk, but I know this is recommended like crazy, and this will be watched by me this month. So I had to throw it out there because I hear nothing but praise for this movie, and I'm looking forward to it. Kurt Russell, and this is the same guy that did Cell Block 99, which is an insanely violent movie. I mean, crazy violent, and I've heard this is violent. So after seeing Cell Block 99, I can understand how violent this might be. But that's some horror ones thrown in there that I think you might enjoy. It's too bad there's a MVD release of Ghost Riders coming on February 8th. It's too bad that just misses Western month, because that would have been a good one also. But yeah, we'll move on to the next genre now. Next one I'm recommending after horror, because some horrific shit happens in this movie. This is another one that it's loose in that it being Western, but Nightingale. This is a drama movie this does not take place in the American West. So it's a little rough to fit into a Western, but everything else about this, the feel, everything else looks Western. This is a very, very, very rough movie to watch. Some horrific stuff happens in it. It's hard to describe this. I don't want to give anything away. It's terrible. My God, I own it. I haven't watched this copy yet because I watched it on streaming. I don't know when I'm going to get to watching this copy because it's a rough movie to watch. So if you can handle horrific things happening, give this one a shot. This is a drama, though. This is pretty sheer drama. There is no actual horror other than, oh my God, that just happened type stuff. But really excellent movie that completely feels Western in every part of it, other than the fact that it's not taking place in the American West. Why don't we dive now into family, which is a weird transition because I'm going to be going to sci-fi next. But anyways, let's dive into a few family movies. 2 of them I do not have, 1 I do. But there is Philo Goes West, An American Tale. I'll put the picture somewhere. Really good animated movie. Would that be from my child? I saw it when I was a kid, so I don't even know when it came out. I don't know if it was late 80s, early 90s, but that's a good one. And then we also have the animated movie Rango with Johnny Depp as the voice character or the voice actor for Rango. Fun little movie. But the main one that I put the family category in just to talk about would be Holes. Now, when I was looking, Holes didn't pop up on any Western lists at all. Like nothing I could find online, which I kind of found that weird because so much about this movie gives the Western feel. I mean, heck, the backstory within this movie is completely Western, about this woman kissing Kate Barlow who robbed a bunch of money. It's there's a lot of Westernness about this movie. I was kind of surprised to not see this on any lists. But this is pretty early Shia LaBeouf. He gets sent to basically a juvie type place for robbing sneakers, and it's good. I mean, the cast is great. You got Sigourney Weaver, Jon Voight, Patricia Arquette, like I said, Shia LaBeouf, who he's not even listed on the front cover because he wasn't even that big at the time. Very fun movie, completely Western to me. I mean, there's so much about this movie that fits into the Western genre. But yeah, that's everything for family. I pretty much just brought up the other two animated ones because I specifically wanted to talk about this. It gave me a reason to talk about it. Now let's dive into sci-fi. This is one of my favorite genres in general. So it was kind of fun picking out some sci-fi Western stuff. But we got the Sean Connery movie Outland. This one was actually, by the director, originally conceived to be a legit Western, like a regular Western set back in that time. But Westerns during the late 70s, early 80s were not big at all. That was not the right call. I mean, fresh off Star Wars, sci-fi was the right call. So they transitioned to a sci-fi, but it's Western to the core. We've got Cowboys and Aliens, just a silly, fun movie. This was nowhere near as good as it was being hyped up to be, but it is completely watchable, fun, silly, little action sci-fi movie. It's nothing special, but you also won't hate your time for watching it. I mean, it's 2 hours. It's a fun 2 hours. I'm probably going to give it a rewatch during the month. We've got Back to the Future 3. This has been on many lists for good reason. I mean, it's the last Back to the Future. It's completely a Western. We've got Solo, which is, I liked it, fair enough. This is totally a Western. So if you like Star Wars, may as well fit in Solo. I mean, it's a sci-fi Western, definitely. We've got Westworld. This was the first one that popped to my mind. Well, second one that popped to my mind, to be honest. But this is the movie with Yul Brynner, not the TV show. Very, very, very good. Oh my gosh, excellent movie. You watch this and you'll see how the TV show got the ideas, but Yul Brynner is way more menacing than anything that happened in the show, in my opinion. Yul Brynner is like the frickin' Terminator as he's coming after you. It's really, really good. Completely a Western in every way. This is a Western sci-fi, but it's 100% you can fit this in, and it's not even a weird choice. This is a great choice. And then my last sci-fi choice is Serenity. Yeah, I love this movie and love the show. I actually have a replica of his pistol, which is very cool. It broke a little bit, but yeah, I love that. I love the show. Love the movie. This is completely, even Joss Whedon has mentioned it. This is a sci-fi Western. This is a Western in space. 100% this is a Western in space. It would be kind of like the anime Cowboy Bebop is Western in space. Serenity is Western in space. If you have not seen either the show or the movie, highly recommended. You do not need to see the show to watch the movie, though. Nor do you need to watch the movie if you've seen the show. They work completely separate from each other, but they work great together, too. Love this movie, though. Love it, love it, love it. So that is everything on sci-fi side. Now we're going to end this list with television. You don't quite have the time to fit in a movie. You want to watch something else. There's TV shows. And I'm not even talking Gunsmoke and Bonanza and stuff like that. We all know that stuff. We know those are Westerns. I have some different stuff that still could definitely work for Western. And we'll start this off with the show Sliders. Now, if you haven't seen Sliders, this is a group of people who get stuck in basically where they keep sliding to different parallel worlds. And there is, maybe it's two, there's at minimum one sci-fi or Western episode in this. And I'm going to put on the screen somewhere, I'll put on the screen for each one of these shows as I get to them. what the episode and season number is, but yes, there is a Western episode in this. The whole show was great, so definitely check out Sliders. Next up, we have Tales from the Crypt. This is season 4. I believe there was a couple of Western themed episodes in this show, but the episode, The Showdown, I'm gonna again put somewhere on the screen what season and episode number it was, but it stars David Morrissey, directed by Richard Donner, with teleplay by Frank Darabont. I mean, that's a heavy hitter list for a 25-minute episode of Tales from the Crypt. Completely a Western, that episode. So yeah, I will put down in the description the episode and season number and everything. Next up, we have Adventures of Briscoe County Jr., starring Bruce Campbell. This is completely a Western sci-fi show. This is not anthology-like, though, so you would need to start this at the beginning. But if you felt like it, definitely check this show out. And last one, there is The Twilight Zone, the classic 50s show. There is either 4 or 5 Western-themed episodes. I will put them in the video. But yeah, Twilight Zone, always great. Yeah, that gave you quite a bit of recommendations across a whole ton of genres, plus television. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy Western Month. Thanks again to Ken for starting this whole thing. Hashtag, MLM Western Month. I'll have it on the screen. But yeah, this is very cool. So have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next one.